Today's video is sponsored by Virginia Farm Bureau Insurance. Go online to vafb.com to learn more. Hi there, and welcome to Teach Me Tuesday. It's springtime in Virginia. Spring is the time of year when all is new. Nature comes alive once again. Have you ever stopped to admire the beauty of a flower? So many different colors, sizes, and shapes, but all special in their own way. Flowers may not look alike, but most of them have very similar parts. Today we'll be learning about the different parts of a flower. Time for a nature walk. Enjoy the springtime weather and go on an exploration for as many different flowers as you can find. Take pictures like I did, or draw them in a journal, but always ask permission before picking any flowers. Observe very closely. When comparing the flowers, how are they alike? How are they different? For the next part of our lesson, we are headed inside to examine the different parts of a flower. You can make collections of your own. Dandelions like this one, and daffodils like this one, are great examples of flowers that can be easily dissected. If you do not have access to fresh flowers, many silk or artificial flowers will be very accurate and will work just fine. Let's start by looking at the external parts of the flower, or what we can see on the outside. A flower is made up of many parts. The sepal and petals are usually easy to see. The petals are the colorful, often bright part of the flower. Colorful petals attract pollinators and are usually the reason why we buy and enjoy flowers. The sepals look like little green leaves growing at the base of the petals. The sepals enclose and protect the developing flower bud before it opens up into a fully developed flower. If you carefully pinch the base of the flower, you will discover the reproductive system of the plant. These male and female parts will carry on the traits of the parent plant to its offspring. Some flowers have just male parts, and some have just female parts. But dandelions and daffodils actually have both male and female parts, and for that reason, they are called perfect flowers. The male part of the flower is called the stamen. The stamen is the pollen-producing part of the plant, and it is made up of two parts, the anther and the filament. The filament is the stalk that holds the anther and attaches it to the flower. The anther produces and holds the pollen, which will hopefully be transported to the female part of the flower by wind, animals, or insects. The female part of the flower is called the pistil, and it is made up of the stigma, style, and ovary. The stigma is the head of the pistil. It often looks like a sticky bulb on a long stalk in the center of the flower. The stigma receives the pollen grains. The style is the stalk that the stigma sits on top of, and the ovary is usually at the base of the style. When a plant is pollinated, the pollen that has landed on the stigma grows a tube that reaches down through the style to the ovary. If pollen from an incompatible plant of a different species lands on the stigma, it won't grow a pollen tube. When the pollen tube reaches the ovules inside the ovary can be fertilized by the pollen. Then the ovules become seeds and the ovary swells. Seeds can be sown to grow new plants, and they can also be important food sources. We eat the seeds of wheat, corn, beans, and many other plants. We also eat many fruits, which are enlarged ovaries that contain the seeds of the plant. Do you think you can now identify the parts of a flower? Lay paper under your flower and label every part. You can also draw an example to the side to help out. Thank you for watching today's Teach Me Tuesday. To learn more, go online to agintheclass.org.